Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm Mike Stansbury, and with me today is Billy Morse. Billy, how are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. I hope you are.
I am too. Well, Billy, thanks for being here. We're going to get into your story in just a second. But first, we got to talk about Investor Fuel. At Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, real estate service providers, and entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their businesses to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted and allow them to live the lives they've always dreamed of. Billy, let me ask you this first before we get into what you're doing now. What was the pivot into real estate? When did you get into real estate? Have you always been? What were you doing beforehand? Tell me the origin story, sir.
Okay, sure. So it's probably like a lot of other people. Rich dad, poor dad. I had my first son, 9 years ago. And I'm in the parking lot and I'm reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I grew up with a poor dad. And then I read that book and I bought a house the next day. It like that's the thing that just changed my entire life. And then my mentality. So once I started understanding the difference between a poverty mindset and abundance mindset, it just led me on this track to real estate. And that was about 10 years ago. And
Okay,
so yeah.
critical
And I
time,
have a
right?
W-2 job
Right, Zach?
currently. Yeah.
You still currently have a W-2 job and you do this as well.
Yes. Yeah. And we'll
Okay.
probably talk about that. Yeah.
Go into that.
yeah.
What are you doing now from your W-2 job, and then how are you able to handle all the more than a side hustle of this real estate that
Sure.
you're doing?
Yeah. Just about balancing things and understanding what your priorities are. I kind of always say this: when you know your why, the how is easy. So it's just, gets you through the hard part, and then being extremely disciplined, and then having a framework, and then being able to compartmentalize and just stay focused. And because that's what I see a lot with entrepreneurs, just so easy to kind of go off the rails, and I've done that before. And then it's just like, all right, man, what is our North Star, and let's just keep following towards that.
So,
yeah.
of all the things that you mentioned there, the one thing that resonates that most people miss, most people you have to have discipline to be an entrepreneur. But one of the things that I think helped me, and you mentioned it, was the framework. Can you kind of dive into the framework a little bit?
So
How do you define
that's
that?
actually how my company's been really able to just take off. So I'm sure you've maybe read Traction by Gene Wickman, but we've put in the EOS framework, and that's just been so amazing for our company. And once I read that and I started implementing it, I basically restructured the company. I had to let a couple people go. It really doesn't leave any blind spots in your business, and it really just boils it down into 6 key components, and then how you focus on that. And so once I realized that, then I'm going from, pivoting from like being, I guess, a founder into moving more into a CEO role, and really just focusing on growing the business. And yeah, that's been where I'm going like the past, 3 months. And so my W-2 job, I'm a cybersecurity sales executive for a cybersecurity firm, and then I'm in sales. So I've just used that superpower in order to grow the business.
Okay. So tell me about the business that you're in now. Like, what are we doing? When did we start with the short-term rentals? And give me the story of maybe the first few deals that you've done. And are are these local or are they out of your state? How does all of that work? Give us the 10,000 square foot view and then kind of dive into maybe a deal. I'll let you choose your own adventure that you're working on or worked on that was a creative, fun deal.
Okay. Yeah, those are always fun to talk about. But basically, the orange origin story, let's see, because I've made a ton of mistakes and I've learned a lot and I've pivoted, and that's where I've found so much success. So
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I got into a partnership in 2019 and we bought 22 properties and we fixed up all these houses. This was in Augusta, Georgia. The barrier to entry is very low. So we were buying properties that were maybe 150,000, and we were adding bedrooms and forcing equity. And then after about 9 months, we had 10 short-term rentals, but they were lower end, but we were profiting about $15,000 to $20,000 a month. And so I had a business partner at the time. It was him and his wife, and it was myself. And they didn't want to hire anybody. They had a scarcity mindset. They want to do everything themselves, like from the bookkeeping to just like every single facet of the business. And I'm burnt out. You know, I've got 4 kids. I got my W-2 job, and I'm like, man, there's got to be a better way. So I approached them, and I'm like, hey, we got to do something different. We're making money now. And they they wouldn't do it. So I said, you know what? I don't need another job, right? You can have this job. I tried several times to let them see my side of things and say, hey, man, there's a better way of doing things. We can outsource so we can grow and we can really build a company. But we weren't aligned. And so I went from having like 25 houses and working my full-time job and then my full-time job with these 25 properties to having 0, which was just like, it was a bit humbling. And then also gave me a ton of free time. So this is what ChatGPT came out. And I basically put myself in a hole for like a month in which it's like, I got to figure out a business plan, what I'm going to do. Like, I didn't waste a day, right? Like, I literally, like, when I split with my partnership, I was like, all right, I got to do my own thing. And so I really wanted to pivot from kind of lower income, that barrier entry, into more higher end, over $500,000 properties, because finally got to the point where I found out that basically one really nice property will make me, if you do it right, can make me the same amount of money, if not more, than 10 like, D properties. But I didn't, my partner at the time, he had maybe a portfolio of 20 million, but it was like lower income. So I was kind of looking up to him, but I quickly found out that I don't want to do that. And I need to, I guess, forge my own path. So once I went out on my own, that's what I did. And then we started buying higher end properties. And then I started this property management co-hosting space. And then we've got about 40 million in assets under management. We own personally about, yeah. Go ahead. I thought you were about to say something.
Oh, yeah. So interested in maybe, so I love the overview. You gave me a good overview, but maybe, so when you left the partnership,
Yeah.
really just for a month, and then, what was the first deal that you did on your own? How did that come about?
Sure.
How did you finance it? What did that look like?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Okay, yeah. So I call it my free house. I got a letter in the bank and it said 0% down for up to $500,000. And I'm like, are you serious? Yeah. It was for a personal home. So I called the bank and I'm like, is this real? And I was like, well, how long do I have to live there? And they're like, well, you only really need to live there for like 3 to 6 months. And then, if you decide to move, then move. So I was like, all right, well, game on, man. I need to find a house. So I got I just network and I talked to a lot of people. And my neighbor said, hey, did you know Donald is selling his property next to yours? I said, no, I didn't know that. He said, yeah, it's not on the market. So 2 seconds later, I knock on Donald's door and I'm like, hey, Donald, I heard that you're interested in selling your property. He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, what are you asking for it? And he's like, well, I'm asking 480, but if there's no realtor fees, I guess 450. And I was like, okay, I'll make, that's good. Let's make an offer. Let's write it up. So I went back to my house, which is like 4 houses down, and I wrote him up an offer because I had done enough deals where it's like, okay, I can do this one without an agent. So because I had purchased those 23 houses and I'm just like, all right, just feels comfortable. And so I wrote up that offer. And this was in March of 2023. Sorry, it was June of 2023. The partnership split in March. And so that was like my first deal. And it was 450,000. And then I lived there for 3 months and we converted it into a short-term rental. And then I moved out and it's been an amazing property. It's a staple. And it grosses about 80,000. And my mortgage is about 3,000 a month.
Okay. Can't
Yeah. That. And it's a great spot and it's already appreciated and I got a good deal on it. So that was my first taste into a little bit of a step up of a house.
When that bank gave you, I'm always interested in a little bit of details. Did you have finance or did you?
No.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I just let them know, hey, I'm going to be moving. And then I just changed my insurance from a primary to a short-term rental.
And did you go back to your other house or what did you do then?
So I ended up, I rented a house. So I got remarried and I have 2 kids and my wife has 2 kids. So like it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. And I like renting right now. It's kind of the Grant Cardone principle.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And yeah, I'd rather just throw my money into creating a business and buying more real estate.
I like it. Yeah. Okay. And then one of the things you mentioned is you do some out-of-state investing. Tell us about maybe the big, the more fun, those details and how did those birth?
It's all about, building a team. So I live in Davidson, North Carolina. A lot of our properties are in Augusta, Georgia. It's been a cool market. I've got a great partner there now. We've got an amazing relationship. We've built really good systems and processes and teams and we're hustlers. I'll tell you about a cool deal. We got wind from a real estate attorney that he wanted to sell his property. And he's got this estate in Augusta. It was 7 acres. It was just beautiful. It's just this old farmhouse. It's not old, but it's this farmhouse. It's 4,500 square feet. The property's got another house adjacent to it across the pond, and it's all fenced in with pine trees. It's stunning. And he was kind of floating offers out there, and I was talking to my business partner who's a real estate agent, or he's a broker. I was like, let's float him an owner finance deal. Like this guy he's a real estate attorney. He knows, it's not like it's his first time into real estate. So we were like, would you consider a 10% down payment with a 3% interest with a 2-year balloon? He's like, sure. So we're currently at about 16 months into the project, and it's been amazing because we're forcing appreciation. We're basically adding, I think, 400 square feet, right? We're gonna force at least 150,000 appreciation into one of the properties, and then the other property, once we finish updating the bathrooms, we'll be able to force more appreciation, and then we're gonna get with one of the lenders that you're talking about, right? And we can show them basically 2 years of P&L statements, and then they can lend off of that. And then now they do these, 40-year loans, so it just cash flows like a monster. And if you can force that appreciation and then operate it at a very high level, right? It makes that those like you're basically pushing all the levers.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
That is that I love creative deals, and I love what you're doing. That sounds
Me too.
like super awesome. And so now you
Thank
also
you.
are managing STRs. You're managing yours and others, or tell us kind of what that looks like.
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny story. So that first house I told you about, my neighbor was like, "Man, I see like you're doing really good there. I'm moving to Florida for a year. Like, can you help me out with my house?" I was like, "All right, I'll consider that." And then so I got her going, and then the neighbor across the street from her was like, "Hey, I see what you're doing at Becky's house. Like, I go to Europe for the summer. Like, could you rent my place out?" And she's 75. I was like, "Sure, I'll do it." So she can. It was such a win-win because I'm like, I'm helping you basically pay for you to go to Europe and spend time with your family, and then it's just a win-win. And then Business Insider reached out to me on Facebook and was like, "Hey, would you do an article on co-hosting?" It's like, "Of course." Yeah. So I wrote an article, and then I had this idea. I was like, "All right, well, you've got these 3 properties. Let me see what I can do." And like I mentioned before, I'm a hustler and I'm in sales and I don't mind cold calling. So I saw this property in Augusta, Georgia, and it was this mansion, 6,500 square foot, private pool on a private lake. It was stunning. So I call this guy up and I say, "Hey, I see that you're renting your property for $4,000 a month. If you turn this into a short-term rental, it would generate about 16,000. Is that something that you're interested in?" And I closed him. Like, I got his keys basically over the phone that day, and that he was our first like real big client.
Well, and let me
Yeah.
stop you by saying this. Like,
Okay.
this was not you did a cold call, but you did your research beforehand. You knew
For
what
sure.
this thing would do. You didn't come.
Oh yeah.
You didn't come in cold. You came in hot.
Yeah, I came in hot, but I also didn't know this guy from, I've never talked to him before, and he actually lived in Germany.
Well, but you knew so what you did know is that he had a problem, right? His problem
Right.
he needed to rent that house out, and the $4,000 a month was, I mean, that is what it is. But you came up with a solution of $16,000 a month. Now, tell me about the execution of that after you got the keys, and what did that look like with furnishing, and how did that plan come together?
That was the worst deal I've done. And it was awesome though, because I learned so much, right? And that guy, I get chills if I hear his name, but I learned so much, man. Oh yeah, I mean, I learned a lot about not saying yes to everybody, and then doing my due diligence too, and just understanding, hey, who are the types of people that I want to build my company around, and who do I want to serve, and how can I best serve these people and our clients. And he was just extremely hard to deal with. I didn't realize there was an HOA. There was his neighbor that was just so mad because the first people, like, there was parties, and it was just like everything that could go wrong went wrong. And the guy's texting me like nonstop. and he's in Germany, so it's like 6 hours. So I'm getting text messages at 1 in the morning. So we assessed a lot, but what that showed me was like, you need to start making some more calls. And I just like, and that's what I did, and just started getting more clients, and then figuring out through, I guess, unfortunate way, like what kind of clients we want to work with, and how to like find these problem customers, and who's going to be in our tribe. And now, like, we turn away clients, and we're like, I don't, you're just going to be a energy vampire. So we don't want energy vampires. We get rid of them.
Yeah,
I cut them right away, man.
you're right, Billy. The one thing that you have to find out early is with especially with partnerships, because I mean when you're managing a short-term rental, you're partners with these people in some aspect.
Sure.
And so the more you can define who your avatar is, what their core
Mm-hmm.
values are, and are they going to are they going to be an energy vampire? Are they going to drain you? Or are they going to work well with you?
Right.
Are they going to defer to you as the expert? The whole Stephen Covey line, begin with the end in mind. What's great about entrepreneurship and also terrible is, and you said it yourself, you're a hustler. Most entrepreneurs have that mentality of like grind. You got to grind for a little bit. And then what happens is we leave a wake in the back of like, oh, I got to go back to this point and fix this. And so knowing who your core audience is, or who you core work for, now that you know that, kind of sets you up to do this more effectively, more profitable, more efficiently.
You're crystal clear. I mean, you're hyper focused. You know exactly who you're targeting. You know who you're not targeting. You can quickly qualify, disqualify, and you can go after business and get it just much more quicker.
Yeah. So
And your team is happier.
so you still work full time, and I
I do.
enjoy that. Is there
I love
are you
it.
trying to get the business up to a certain level to where you can back off that, or what does that look like?
Um, I don't know, because my day job. So I'm a cybersecurity sales executive, and I sell to the government, and specifically I sell to Homeland Security and energy folks that are protecting our national infrastructure. And that's super motivating. So that's really, really hard to leave something like that where it's like really mission focused. Um, and then I'm also trying to, build my short-term rental to 20 million in revenue in the next 5 years. And then I think once I do that, I that's probably when I'd make a change.
Yeah, that's when you're thinking you have lots of different choices. Um, well, the question I have for you is with regard to you're in Augusta, Georgia. You're in your hometown. Are you anywhere else in the country? What does that look like?
Yeah, we're California, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Nantucket,
Okay.
several beaches. Yeah. Where else are we?
And these are properties
Richmond,
that you're.
Virginia. Yeah, yeah. The ones I own are mainly in the southeast.
Okay. Yeah.
Just closer to me.
Awesome.
But like our business model allows us to go wherever if we can serve the right customer and do it remotely. And that's what I love about technology. And you can cut through the noise, but you can also just what's the word? Like, you could just beat your competition if you're laser focused and you provide a really good service. Like Vacasa and some of those other agencies, like their business model can bottleneck. I feel like ours is extremely scalable, and that's the point where I'm at now. And so that, like, I thought I was scalable a year ago, and then I started scaling, and then I realized I wasn't. My operations wasn't there. The sales engine is starting to get there, and we don't even have a website yet. So next month is when we're getting our first website.
About organic, this is as organic as it gets. That's great.
This
Yeah.
is hammering cold calls. And I've got a team in the Philippines. I've got a whole system set up, man. I've got like an inside sales rep. I've got a sales engine going.
Yeah. Well, Billy, let's do this. Where can people
Okay.
find you on the internet? Where is the best place to reach out and say, hey, I have a property that may fit his box, or I may want to get him to manage the property for me. Tell us what that looks like, Billy.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just got on LinkedIn under Billy Morse, Salt and Cedar is the name of the company. Our website is coming July 15th. And yeah, or you can email me at billy@morse, MORSE -ventures.com. Yeah, or call me 704-910-7829.
Well, folks, we will have all that information in the show notes. So below, if you want to reach out to Billy, here's his number, here's his information, his website. We'll try to put that on there when it goes live. But
Thank you.
we'll also put his Facebook and LinkedIn profile on there. Billy, thank you for being a part of the Real Estate Pros podcast. Very interesting business, and love what you're doing. Love the creativity, and love the fact that you're crushing it and doing it kind of on a nationwide basis. Not a lot of people can stomach that or have the systems and processes for that. So kudos to you for, basically getting in I guess what we would call a solitary confinement until you had the right business plan for this thing.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, guys, thanks for watching the Real Estate Pros podcast. We'll see you next time. Do all the things, like, subscribe, comment below. And if you want to get in touch with Billy, his information is below. See you, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.